is a fairy tale for kids, I don't really have a problem with it. There is bad advice in fairy tales for kids and fantasy stories for kids, but there's that same kind of bad advice in everything. I don't think that Narnia is particularly bad about that, except for one thing. When it's the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus or Tinkerbell that adults encourage little children to believe in, right? When it's those particular things that they're being given bad advice about, that's like a standard thing we do to kids in our culture, which I think is not necessarily a good idea, but people apparently get over it. Probably none of our viewers right now believe in any of those things. But with Narnia, we got a religion behind it. It's the exact same kind of bad advice. But now kids are going to be seeing this and going back to their churches where the pastors are going to say, why yes, that's right. You should believe your little sister when she says she saw Jesus in,
corn husk.
In a corn husk. Yeah, excellent catch there. Because she'll cry if you don't. Well, no, it actually matters whether these claims of Christianity really are true or not. And all this bad advice is all the bad advice that gets you to just believe without actually looking at what the evidence actually is. So, to me, it's not that what happens on the screen in Narnia is that bad. It's what happens off the screen that's so bad. I remember a few years ago, a book publisher that had the rights to the Narnia books announced that they were going to be lining up authors to write more Narnia books, and they announced that they were going to not make a point of any religious message in those books. And of course, the religious fans of the books were upset, and it made it into the news. As far as I know, there's never been any of those books published, but I do know that Disney claimed that they were just going to present the book as written and not play up the religion message, and I think they did that. But that doesn't really matter when we have a huge cultural movement.
Was that they weren't going to play up the religious message any more than it already was.
Right? No, sure, and that's fair. I don't, that's their job is to do a good translation of the book to film. I think that's fine. But what's happening is there's this huge religious movement surrounding this film, and that's where I think the kinds of bad things that kids are taught in fairy tales are going to get perpetuated, and maybe, just maybe, kids won't be growing out of it. Maybe they're going to take this bad advice to heart, and instead of, like Tinkerbell, where they realize, oh, it was just a play or just a movie, and there really wasn't even a Tinkerbell in the first place that we were clapping for to make her come back to life. That, in the case of Aslan/Jesus, they're going to think there really is such a thing. And that, to me, as an atheist, that's the problem.